This the one right here y'all been waiting on. Everything Chicago Drill Era 2014. Never been covered like this before on YouTube. Hard to believe it's been 10 years since then. And it all started when Sosa brought the wave to the rack in 2011. Without any further delay, let's get started. Previously in 2013, Durk dropped This Ain't What You Want track that got him some national attention. He also started going back and forth with Sosa on Twitter after Sosa didn't bail him out on his second strap charge. And lastly, at the end of the year, Sosa called out the Migos for sneak dissing on their track Jealousy. To start the new year, Chicago police put out a bulletin with Rondo No. 9 holding a rocket launcher. What happened was, this kid posted a picture on Instagram a week before Christmas. Can you believe this shit? There's a fucking rocket launcher on the streets of Chicago. This year is definitely gonna live up to the hype. On the 2nd, Durk gets featured on a couple of tracks on French Montana's Coke Boy 4 mixtape that just dropped.
Niggas let me out the job. Only real niggas ride. Fakers fuck, get out of here. Hooked up with French, check out.
On the track Soulful with French is where he lays it all out about how he feels about Sosa and his current signing situation. On the 3rd, he drops visual for his track Times off his Sign to the Streets Coke Boy mixtape that dropped on the 3rd quarter of 2013. He was paying tribute to one of his guys, J Money, who had passed away in 2013 due to gun violence that has plagued the whole city. He also lost another close friend, an up-and-coming rapper, L.A. Capone, also to gun violence in 2013. On January 6th, the Migos came to a neighboring town in Chicago and performed at Club Adriana where Sosa used to perform. Migos and Sosa started jabbing at each other a few days prior, which Migos addressed in their song Jealousy that dropped in December. Sosa then responds by sending multiple shots on Twitter. He said they only came because they know he was out of town at rehab. On the opposing side, Lil J drops a few videos throughout the month. He drops visual for his competition track on the 24th. The song came out in 2013, which was a remix of Durk's No Competition track. He had all those disrespectful tweets as part of his video. In it, he mentions that he's been blackballed so he can't get signed. I believe the record labels are now playing politics and showing only one side favoritism. Lil J, in my opinion, was working overtime, dropping tracks after tracks, but nobody gave him a shot. On the song Hang With Me, he says niggas talking about 600, I'm the only 00.
Niggas talking about 600, what's up with this? I'm the only 00. Look who came over.
He also says he got shot 16 times. I did my research and found paperwork for the lawsuit he has with the jail nurse where this is confirmed in the paper. His other track, Take You Out Your Glory, was a direct diss to a Sosa. You see young FBG Butter in the video.
Yes, man. FBG shit, man. Flatboy gang, flatboy smoke. We run the shop. All you goofies gonna take you out your glory, that clout life.
FBG Cloud Boys, man. None of talking, man. FTO, man. Self-paid, self-made niggas out there.
I know, Boss City, Tookaville, man. FTO, y'all die.
Touch y'all back out here. I'm making this shit.
World, man. You know,
There are so many controversies surrounding Sosa at this time, and I think he's starting to slack a bit. He dropped video for Gucci Gang on the 26th, and you can literally hear voices in the background, almost like it was recorded and edited by an amateur. He had all his trusted glory boys in the video, you know, Tato, Ball Out. On February 8th, Sosa dropped this track War. The snippet of it came out last year, but he just dropped the full song. He dissed everybody in it. He says, I'm high off this tooka pack. I'm high off this Aki pack. I'm high off this tutu pack. Smoking on this J Loud. Smoking on that fathead. Run up on 4-6. Leave a nigga flat dead. Not only did he diss all this deceased individuals, he also mentions running up on 4-6, which is one of Durk's closest allies. THF Bezu is from 4-6, so that could be looked at as an indirect shot at Durk. On February 21st, Sosa lets it be known that he was banned from BET for skipping out on 106 & Park after a fan questions why he wasn't on there if Fat Trail made it there. It's a few new guys in the game now. One of them is Durk's cousin Nuski, or OTF Nunu. He drops video at the top with Durk on February 24th. A few days prior, another new player we didn't really get to talk about yet is Davon Bennett, who was in and out the walls the previous years. He's most notably known as King Von. He ain't a rapper yet, but he's an interesting figure at the time because of his back and forth on Twitter with some of the opposition in the past, especially one particular individual, Gakirah Barnes, aka K.I., who was also a notorious figure in the drill scene. What was weird at the time, back in 2012, is that it seemed like he was flirting with a known enemy. She's a Tookaville affiliate. Remember Tooka was shot and killed at the bus stop back in January 2011? Von is back to his weird flirting and tweeting at K.I. asking her if she misses him. On February 22nd and on the 23rd, Rondo number 9, the rocket launcher boy, he sends out a few cryptic tweets and posts. On February 26th, King Louis releases Tony video off his Drill Illuminati 2 mixtape that dropped in 2013. He had Chance the Rapper in the video, and also his main guy, Mubu Krump, who we will be talking about more later on in this video. On March 9th, a 17-year-old Rondo number 9 is arrested on murder charges along with 19-year-old C-Day, who was picked up a week later. C-Day had just been released from jail 2 weeks prior on a robbery probation violation. They are both accused of shooting a cab driver on February 22nd around 4 a.m. The victim, Javon Boyd, was a cab driver who just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time.
It was just about 4 a.m. Saturday when livery driver Javon Boyd was shot and killed while waiting on a fare in McKinley Park. By the time the woman he was to have picked up arrived, it was too late. Police say the shooter approached from the vehicle's passenger side, hitting him in the back and legs.
This boy worked majority 14 to 16 hours, almost a day, to feed his family, to go back home and want to be back home with his fiance.
Portions of the incident was caught on surveillance camera. In this case, it's currently closed, so we can talk about the details. Javon Boyd was out at 4 a.m. trying to make an honest living for himself, and here comes Rondo number 9 and C-Day riding around 3 cars deep looking for ops from a prior altercation that day according to court documents. They spot Boyd's car idling in op territory, and they assumed he was an opposition, so they bust the Huey. They approached his passenger side door and asked, "You from around here?" In which he responded yes, not knowing he just confirmed his execution. Both C-Day and Rondo, they pumped shots into the vehicle, hitting Boyd 7 times, and they fled the scene. Remember, those Rondo tweets from February 22nd, I'm sure they didn't help him during his trial. Let's get back on track now. Drill rap is going international. Some guys from the UK do a track with Durk called Mad Money, which dropped on the 10th of March. Them boys in the UK was up on it early. They got UK drill now. On March 19th, Bosstop, another oblock member, drops a vlog or freestyle video where he calls King Louis Queen Louis. This is Mubu Squad. This is the first time we are hearing about a possible issue with either camps. Louis and his Mubu gang were always collabing with Durk since the beginning, and they were on the same stage together in 2013 at the Congress Theater. So I'm not sure where the friction came from, but this is the first time and it's completely new. On the 21st, Sosa's producer and close Glow Gang member posts "Fuck OTF" on Instagram, and Durk responds. 3 days later, Sosa posted a picture of himself and Ball Out holding some firepower with the caption, "Another situation already," at Ball Out. On March 25th, Tooka's half-brother Lil Marc dropped this version of Lil Durk's No Competition, dissing all the dead OTF 600 members. He got a clip of a FaceTime he had with Lil Reese in the video.
What y'all on?
Alright. That AO shit. Uh-huh. What up? Out here. I'm on fast, boy. I been out here. I stay out here, boy.
The next day on the 26th, there was an attempted robbery and shooting at Sosa's house, and he was questioned by police that night. According to WGN News report, on the day of the incident, they received a call from someone claiming Chief Keef shot me.
Someone called our newsroom and said Chief Keef shot him. He is in intensive care at Skokie Valley Hospital. Police will not say if Keith Kozar.
Sosa's lawyers denied Sosa was the shooter, but admitted he was present during the attack, and he was also a passenger in a vehicle that dropped off the shooting victim at the hospital. Police now issue a bulletin later on that day, and news reports starting to surface about the details of what happened. The name Tyree Davis, also known as Bosstop, DeMarcus Sargent, also known as Boss Sean, and Charles Liggins, also known as C Murder, pop up. You might recognize C Murder's name as one of the oblock 5 with the FBG Duck situation. The infighting had finally reached a boiling point, and they took a deal with Sosa. These are all his guys' names in the report. Sosa and Bosstop go at it on Twitter now. Bosstop then posted a news report with a caption saying, "Somebody said something. I wasn't there. You just a hoe. Whoever was at the crib and got snatched, all y'all some hoes on Beat Keef dope fiend ass grave." He was insinuating that Sosa told on them, and he also threw a dirty jab on Sosa's late uncle Big Keef. Vaughn also sends a few cryptic tweets. To get a little more insight on what took place on this day, I found a fairly recent video out there of someone who was present during the incident, according to his IG Live, Juice the Savage. He shed light on what transpired that day. He says it was Bosstop, Vaughn, C Murder, T Roy, Reese, and an older guy, Terrence Smith, who was shot.
They called Tato phone and was like, "What's up?" And who out the band? He up the prop tech. C Murder was like, "Yeah, y'all know how we coming." Ooh. So I guess folk them come. I guess they come to the crib, folk. I don't know how the door get open, cause the door got open. It's Lil Reese, it's Top, T Roy, Vaughn, C Murder, and the older nigga.
Reese had denied this, saying he just happened to be pulling up when they were pulling up. To sum up both the News and Juice statement, Bosstop and the guys pulled up to Sosa's crib, and according to initial reports, Sosa shot one of the guys. That being one of the guys, he helped them to the hospital while the others fled, but Sosa, through his attorney, denied being the shooter. On March 28th, exactly 3 days after Lil Marc dropped his No Competition video where he dissed all the dead OTF members, he also met his fate when he was shot at a bus stop similar to his half-brother Tooka 3 years prior. They tried to get him the day before, but he got lucky that time, but unfortunately, his luck ran out the following day. Vaughn, D Rose, and THF Twiller, they all tweet about it. On April 7th, Krump and T Roy, they go back and forth on Twitter. Remember, Krump used to hang with them. I'm not sure what happened at Bosstop this Louis and Mubu on March 19th. On April 8th, Sosa, he drops Close That Door video in response to the back door by his own homies. On April 10th, Sosa's cousin gets gunned down close to where he grew up in Inglewood as possibly 2 gunmen fired more than 24 shots at him, striking him as many as 10 times and also wounding a relative in the process. The next day on the 11th, Gakirah Barnes, aka K.I., was shot and killed in the middle of the day. There are rumors out there that K.I. was shot in retaliation for blood money. There are also rumors out there that King Von and T. Roy killed blood money in retaliation for the shooting that happened 2 weeks prior at Sosa's crib. None of those rumors have been confirmed true, but Vaughn addressed it in a song that he did way after with Durk, Evil Twins, where he says, "My homie think I killed his cousin. Oh well, oh well." Back to the day K.I. was killed. These are the tweets that were sent right after. On April 26, Lil Durk previews Chiraq remix with Meek Mill and Shy Glizzy dissing Tigger over a line about Black China. Heard Tigger sneak dissing on me, telling thought bitches I'm not right. Tigger only got one name, but that nigga ain't got one stripe. He backpacked, so easy to get that nigga shit snatched. The full song dropped on May 3rd. A lot of people remixed this track, including the opposition. Tigger responds back on Chiraq to LA dissing Durk. On April 28th, D Rose boy, my little bro boy, you know the one that Sosa always raps about, he gets picked up for a February 12 murder. The victim is a 14-year-old Venzel Richardson, who was walking with several people when a van drove past him and D Rose, the shooter, opened fire from inside a car. Richardson is from the 6400 block of South St. Lawrence Avenue. He was shot in the head, and this is the story of many in Chicago at the time, so the feds decided to move in. On May 9th, Sosa, feeling betrayed by his once trusted comrades, sends a tweet about them saying he made them who they are today. The Tigger and Durk situation is becoming a hot topic at this time. Game, he hopped on the track with Tigger doing a West Coast collab dissing Durk. On the 27th, Sosa tweets about the Tigger and Durk beef taking Tigger's side. Durk immediately responds by saying Amigos can come shoot a video in Chicago, in which bosstop co-signs. On May 31st, OTF Nunu was shot and killed in broad daylight while sitting in a car at a strip mall in the Southside neighborhood. It's a very sad story, but this is a new norm in Chicago. Shootings and killings at an all-time high right now. On June 10th, Sosa gets evicted from his Highland Park home where the shooting took place. I guess the neighbors, they were fed up with all the commotions that come with the rapper. That's actually a good thing. I wouldn't want to stay where niggas just ran up in. He moves to LA. On the 22nd, Durk drops 0 to 300 track where he says, "I know some around my way that got their chain snatched." There are rumors out there that either Cop or GBE got his chain took.
Is that it? What video at? Oh, we got that too. Close that up.
And from the 23rd to the 26th, Sosa and bosstop, they go at it on tweets, where Sosa revealed what was taken from him. He says, and I quote, "I would say f*** OD, but that's my boy."
Would say f*** OD, but that's my boy. You feel me? I'm from there. You know? But oblock.
You know the guy oblock is named after? Lil Reese immediately responds, but he tries to play peacemaker. On June 27th, in the midst of the whole bosstop, Sosa, Twitter beef, Krump, who already got dissed by bosstop earlier this year, comes in defending Sosa and diss bosstop.
I was just sitting back thinking, man, this got me in this song, steady wearing this musty, dirty ass Burberry shirt. Sosa gave you all them clothes and you to wear, glowed you up, and this how you do, little folks. You gonna do little folks like this? He gave them clothes. Broke ass rapper, man. Buy your little dirty ass 7 more of them shirts. We gonna buy your little dirty ass 7 more of them Burberry shirts so you can wear them up every day, you little filthy.
On the 29th, while Durk and his crew was at a club in LA, they run into the Game, who was featured on Tigger's song, and they get into a heated verbal confrontation. You can see one of Durk's guys, OTF Varney, in the front talking. Luckily, this didn't escalate further, as it could have been bad, especially for Durk and his team, because they are on Game's territory. This is California, this ain't Chicago. On July 7th, Durk dropped Signed to the Streets 2 mixtape with 18 tracks that he will be dropping videos for throughout the year. One of the songs, Party, featured an up-and-coming Atlanta rapper, Young Thug, who gained popularity for his viral song Stoner. On the 13th, Mubu Krump, who's had a good relationship with Durk prior, says Lil Reese choked Durk. Durk denies it, of course, but Krump says he got receipts and he will be dropping videos later. On July 24th, Davon Bennett, aka King Von, gets picked up for a murder and shooting that took place back on May 29th. According to reports from the incident, Von was at a party when he spotted someone staring at him. He left the party and came back 45 minutes later with blood in his eyes. He was with Michael Wade, Big Mike, a brother of one of the ops, Nuski. Von and Big Mike both get out the car. They walked towards the porch where people were standing and they started firing. At least 3 people were shot in this incident and one was fatal, Michael Stuckey. Witnesses at the party were able to identify both guys since they had just left the party. Big Mike got picked up first, where he told police exactly what happened during the interrogation. Drill music is now spreading like wildfire all over the place. Now comes New York Drill. Bobby Shmurda and his GS9 crew, they get signed to Epic Record after auditioning as Hot Ninja and computer song for them. On July 29th, video for Lil Durk featuring French Montana, Fly High drops. It's off as Signed to the Streets 2 mixtape. A few days later, on August 5th, Durk is sentenced to 18 months probation for his June 5th, 2013 strap charge. On August 15th, Sosa drops Full Yard video. A few days later, him and Durk squash their beef or at least come to a peaceful resolution for the time being. On the 22nd, a warrant was issued for Sosa after he missed his DUI court hearing. He also can't go back to Chicago because of the death threats. Sosa been dissing Tooka and them guys ever since he came out, so everybody on his ass. On August 24th, police charged Michael Mays and a 17-year-old Sarky Hardy Johnson, also known as Lil Mick, both from the opposition 051 Young Money side, with the murder of L.A. Capone, who was backdoored literally at a studio on September 26, 2013. On August 29th, Bobby Shmurda, all the way in New York, catches a strap charge. Rapping about killing and shooting brings a lot of heat on this side. It is not as tolerated much here on the East Coast like it is in Chicago. And to be fair, Chicago is the only city I can say started this trend of committing crime, rapping about it and tweeting about it in real time. New York don't play that shit. If you out here, you better be real quiet or else you're gonna be on some detective hit list. Back to Chicago on September 11th, T.I. had a meet and greet at a sneaker store in the neighboring town. Lil Durk and his crew clashed with King Louie and his Mubu squad. Rumor has it, Krump got sucker punched in his jibs. A few days after this incident, he leaks his recorded FaceTime call with Lil Reese, where they talked about how Reese had choked Durk.
Nah, I been knew you was going on with Durk. I was right there when you choked Durk. You telling me I don't know what's going on.
He had mentioned this back in July, but this is the first time he ever dropped proof just to muddy the waters because of the internal rift that they got going on. On September 20th, Sosa comes to Jersey to perform at Club All-Stars in Elizabeth. And while he was in there, an altercation occurred where Sosa almost had his chain took. 2 weeks later, on October 2nd, Sosa drops Finito, dissing the whole Jersey for that incident. He said, "They tried to take my chain, I ain't going. I'm gonna go and blow New Jersey up." I ain't even gonna lie, that was probably one of the hardest songs till date. A lot of people on this side didn't really take too kindly to those words, dissing the Garden State. C-Blaze, Nitty, and Shotgun Sugar wasn't having it. They addressed it in the video that was posted on YouTube that gained national attention. This turned out to be a bad idea for a lot of folks in this video cause, like I said earlier, threats of violence or publicized gang affiliation don't work well on this side. Them Ricos started flying right after this. Almost all the folks you see in this video got some hefty numbers. Blizzy, the main guy talking, was charged as a head honcho for 103rd Crips operating out of Newark. On October 3rd, bosstop tries to make amends with Sosa by tweeting out, "I still love your bitch ass," which Sosa never responds to. The next day, Sosa drops another top banger, his best song till date, Earned It, where he starts off the song repping all his old blocks. On the 8th, Durk drops his Try Me remix video. On the 14th and the 15th, bosstop, not getting any response from Sosa after his peace tweet, gets back to his taunting ways. he flosses with Sosa's Johnny Dang chain while hanging with the Migos, who are now at odds with Sosa. On the 21st, Sosa revealed that he had been dropped from Interscope label. There was so much controversy surrounding him, and his music is not hitting like it did earlier on in them days. On the East Coast, Bobby Shmurda, the new face of drill in New York, his single Hot Ninja goes gold.
Hey yo, Hot Niggas just went gold. Over 500,000 sold.
New York, they're getting their Diddy back in the culture after the wave been passed around from Atlanta to Chicago. On October 29th, an aspiring rapper by the name Bandman Kevo gets charged in a $600,000 card cracking scheme. Kevo is a big influencer nowadays, selling credit fixes and a whole bunch of other dreams on his social media platforms. Once a hustler, always a hustler. Buddy out here selling fitness routine after going through surgery to enhance his physique. Got a BBL selling physical training stuff. On October 31st, Sosa drops Back from the Dead 2 mixtape. The following day, on the 1st of November, an article comes out in Chicago Sun-Times News where they name Oblock as the most dangerous block in Chicago. Bosstop, or somebody that looks like Bosstop, was on the front page with a ski mask on. On the 5th, Durk, he picks up his third strap charge while on an 18-month probation for a previous strap charge. Durk was charged with unlawful possession of a weapon by a felon after police found him at his home address in Oakland Park, standing near a kitchen island where 2 loaded handguns were in plain sight. One was loaded with 11 rounds and the other was loaded with 13, according to reports. Durk told police, "I got this pipes cause niggas trying to take my bands." That's what police said. On the 7th, THF Bay Zoo is charged with a fatal shooting during the 4th of July weekend in 2008 of 21-year-old Dominic Barnes. On the 8th, Capo and Amigos, they run into each other at a restaurant in Chicago, and Capo happened to be by himself in this situation, and it could have went left, but it looked more like a verbal altercation. Immediately after the incident, Capo and Amigos tweet about it. Fredo Santana, he sends a direct message to the Migos. He ain't playing around with these guys. On November 13, Lil Durk gets bailed out for the 3rd time on a strap charge. I have never in my life heard about or seen such a thing until now. Up here, first is mandatory 5. Second, some football numbers. And if you're able to make it out or catch the 3rd one,
They gonna throw the book at you.
but this is Chicago. I guess their law is a little different. And to be fair, I have not seen anything on paper to suggest Durk give up any info. On the 15th, Little J, he calls Durk a snitch for bonding out so many times. I don't blame him. I felt the same way.
That's some real shit. I know real niggas been down for real time. Get locked up for a pole, you bond. Get locked up again, your ass gonna have no bond. You gotta sit in unless you tell on somebody. Motherfuckers hit that. I ain't telling on nobody from Chiraq, but I got a couple niggas from Atlanta. Niggas ain't right. Niggas ain't real. Officer Durk.
On November 16th, Quavo gets his chain snatched in DC. Sosa and Capo post and tweet about it. On the 18th, Bosstop addresses Sosa's accusation of him stealing baby clothes from his house. At this time, everybody's clowning on Bosstop on the internet as the diaper bandit, always wearing Sosa's Burberry shirt.
And I broke in your house. I never did a burglary. What the wrong with you? I never stole no clothes, no baby clothes, none of that. Never stole your chain. You know, Boss T snatched your chain off your neck, little bitch.
On the 20th, Krump and Reese, they go back and forth on Twitter. The next day, on the 21st, Durk drops his BON track. That is fire, by the way, but we gonna get into that when the video drops. Remember that Sosa's Johnny Dang chain that Bosstop been flexing around lately after he stole it or took it from Sosa? It has now found its way to a member of the opposition side. FBG Dex, who now goes by the name Famous Dex, posted a clip of himself wearing it on the 7th of December. That chain has been passed around the hood like the neighborhood whore. It is now the ops' turn to flex with it. A lot has been going on in Chicago. The spotlight is on the city for all the wrong reasons. People are paying attention to all the violence and the shenanigans that's going on. There's a lot of peace talks in the air. People are working tirelessly behind the scenes to try to calm things down. And on the 9th, Sosa and Amigos squashed their beef and post a picture for the gram. The next day, Sosa and Louis also did the same thing. I'm not too sure about Durk's crew though at this time, because 3 days later, on the 13th, the video for Durk's BON track drops, where he says he got beef with Mubu. This rap shit is foo-foo. On December 19th, Bobby Shmurda and his GS9 crew gets rounded up at the Quad Studio in New York City. They got hit with racketeering charges. They didn't even get to last the whole year to enjoy the fame. Like I said before, only in Chicago can you rap about crimes and reap the benefits of it. On this side, them peoples be on your bumper immediately. And to end the year, Lil J goes through surgery to remove the bullets from his body. Remember, he was hit up 16 times back in 2013. He almost didn't make it. It's been a wild 2014 to say the least, man. Less music and more beefs. There shouldn't be this much street politics on the net. But unfortunately, Chicago gave us everything. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Until next time, peace.